Imagine visiting a future Japanese garden, one that has been expanded beyond its existing boundaries to include all the nearby surrounding areas. Begin your visit along Lake Washington Boulevard, where you will drive past a ginkgo forest that announces you are approaching someplace special. Turn into the Seattle Japanese Garden entrance at the new signature stone waterfall, like this one in Lebanon, Oregon, by former Portland Japanese head gardener Hoichi Kurisu. Park your car in the new multi-story garage, hidden behind a planted and vine-covered exterior. Walk to the garden along the path, beside the bamboo fence, like this one outside the Katsura Imperial Village in Kyoto, and enter the garden through the new Japanese Garden Visitor Center with its large, airy lobby. Show your membership card at the reception desk for free admittance. Did you know that Portland Japanese Garden has 14,000 supporting members, while until very recently Seattle had none? Browse the announcement board for upcoming Japanese cultural events, lectures, exhibits, classes, meetings, and displays. Take a brochure so you will remember when to return to enjoy them. Glance at the enticing wares in the gift shop and know that you'll want to return there at the end of your visit. While you wait for your tour, take time to appreciate the exquisite Japanese artworks displayed in the gallery across the hall, like these at Hakone Japanese Garden in California. Or wander outside through the extensive bonsai collection, like this one at the Portland Japanese Garden. Join your tour to follow the garden docent through the 2009 Gatehouse Village and into the original 1960 stroll garden. As you move toward the entrance, notice the large stone at your feet. This is the shedding stone, where you relax and leave your worldly cares behind, to enjoy the tranquil beauty of the garden through which you are about to stroll. Learn about the Japanese principle of hide and reveal as you enter the garden but cannot see beyond the first turn in the path. Appreciate the significance of the stones and the important role of water in the garden. Realize how elements within the garden suggest those found in nature. This rocky peninsula, the Amano Hashidate, in the real world, is located on the western coast of Japan and is similarly replicated in Kyoto's Katsura Imperial Garden. Learn about the symbolism and stories that influence garden element and their placement, like the story of Turtle Island. Take time to feed the koi from the zigzag bridge and marvel at the variety in coloration and size. Looking toward the North Hill, you will see the final element of the original 1960s garden plan. The viewing pavilion, overlooking the garden like an ancient daimyo's villa. The expansive views from the pavilion of the pond and stroll garden below make it a perfect location for events and parties. Appreciate the borrowed scenery of the forested hills beyond the garden in the Washington Park Arboretum. Turn from the view and focus on the cultural items on display within the pavilion, one of many exhibits presented in cooperation with the Portland Japanese Garden and the Seattle Asian Art Museum. Linger along the back veranda of the pavilion, where once there was only impenetrable undergrowth and vines, to gaze upon the Zen garden, like this one from Daitokuji in Kyoto. Contemplate how so much is suggested by so little. Return to the pond and continue strolling through the garden. Watch the turtles sunbathe on the rocks along Turtle Island. Sit for a few quiet moments in the Azumaya, a shelter above the orchard meadow. Stroll along the iris-lined banks of the pond, past the cherry and birch trees, originally planted in 1960 by the now Emperor and Empress of Japan. Don't miss the opportunity to be a guest at a traditional Japanese tea ceremony in Shosein Tea House, nestled in a protecting grove of maples near the mountain waterfall. At the end of your classic stroll garden tour, you can join a hillside garden tour, where once there was only unintended growth and crude paths. Now you can stroll through new gardens located on terraces along meandering paths across the western hillside, like this moss garden from Kyoto's Sento Gosho Imperial Garden. Or farther along, where instead of the former uncultivated second growth, you find new gardens demonstrating specific aspects of Japanese design, like these rope-bordered paths in Kyoto's Tenryuji. See how plants, stones, lanterns, fences, hedges, ground covers, and walks can be used in endless combinations, like these stone steps from Kyoto's Katsura Imperial Garden. Imagine how you might create such spaces in your own garden at home, like this special lantern and stream setting from Kyoto's Daikakuji. Continue along the path where the overgrown hillside once seeped groundwater and washed sediment into the koi pond. And now enjoy a new waterfall and collection pond, which captures the drainage for garden irrigation, like this one from Japan's Yushien. At the end of your visit, walk back to the visitor center, past where garden materials once were stored. But instead, you pass through the magical world of a bamboo forest, like this one at Kyoto's Daikakuji. Back in the visitor center, perhaps you will sample some tea and sweets like these from Kyoto's Rikujien. Or have a small bite of lunch in the cafe like this one from the San Francisco Japanese Tea Garden. Or sit on the cafe patio, situated in what had been the cherry orchard picnic area, and now looks out on the visitor center waterfall garden nestled into the hillside like this one in Japan's Yushien. Then finally, relax, refresh, peruse the offerings in the Visitor Center gift shop, and take home a remembrance of your visit to this expanded, world-renowned Seattle Japanese garden. If you can imagine this expanded Seattle Japanese garden, you can help it become a reality to which you will want to return often.